This video is about startup and troubleshooting of the CopperWatcher system. We have the system installed and you can see that the two LEDs are lit, which indicates that the line and load voltage is present to the CopperWatcher. Now this is AC safety disconnect. Your line and load voltages connections are here, and these are the supplied pigtails that come with the CopperWatcher install kit. It's wired in, it's seeing that it's connected to the 230 volts, and it's ready to go. The pressure sensor is sensing pressure, and it is wired in red to P1, green to P2, and black to P3. Now, testing the CopperWatcher when it's first started up is very simple. It only requires an ohm meter. Now, set your ohm meter to 20,000 ohms. And first you want to check to make sure that you have resistance coming from the pressure sensor. You would put your ohm meter on terminals P1 and P2, and as you can see we're reading 0.99 ohms resistance, which is exactly what we're looking for. So at this point we know that the pressure sensor is installed correctly and it's doing its job. Now later in the video, and I'll apologize up front, I have to hand hold the little demo board, but I'm going to show you some troubleshooting techniques on the pressure sensor if it's not getting the reading you want and what to look for. The other test that you'll need to do is test that the CopperWatcher itself is activated and supporting the equipment. As you can see, the tamper switch is not pushed in, therefore we are in alarm state. And if you can see the reading on the meter, it says 1, meaning an open circuit. So if we were actually monitoring, being monitored by the alarm system, the horns and sirens would be going off. I'm going to depress the tamper switch, and now you see that we're getting that 0.99 resistance reading, which means the CopperWatcher is wired correctly, installed correctly, and monitoring the pressure of the air conditioning system correctly. When installing the cover on the CopperWatcher system, make sure that the screws are securely tightened to provide that good weather-tight seal between the cover and the CopperWatcher body. The CopperWatcher is a NEMA 4 Lexan enclosure that can withstand all weather elements and is very durable. There is space for wireless transmitters. We've talked about this before, but let me point that out one more time. If the alarm company elects to do wireless transmitters instead of hardwiring, they would install their wireless transmitters in this area right here. The hard wires for the alarm company land on A1 and A2 for the alarm circuit, and T1, T2, or T3 for the supervisory circuit. Remember, the supervisory circuit is monitoring that circuit breaker, supplying voltage to the AC disconnect. These terminals here, 9, 10, and 11, are for future technology. There's no function for those at all at this time. However, what that is a supervisory relay for the load voltage. Troubleshooting is fast and easy. I would strongly recommend that you test each system after it's installed. And for the alarm companies, when they come up to the job to verify that the system is installed correctly, they only have to go to terminals A1 and A2. And I'll go through that one more time. Put their ohm meter set on 20,000 ohms, close the tamper, and there you go, you get your resistance. So they should be able to hook up and they'll get that same reading at their panel. On the alarm side, if the panel requires 2,000 ohms resistance to protect the communication link between the CopperWatcher and the panel, they would add a 1K resistor to the panel. It would be in series located at the terminal points of the existing burglar alarm system. Now I'm going to do my best to hold this up in front of the camera. I do need to show you. The T-fitting has a depressor which depresses these that are called Schrader valves. This is your normal Schrader fitting, and the depressor that's at the top is perfectly straight. This one, as you can see, is bent to the left side. The problem with the bent Schrader is that the depressor inside the T-fitting will not depress that Schrader correctly and could conceivably cause a false alarm. So please examine the Schrader fittings in the existing air conditioner prior to installing the T-fitting or the pressure sensor to make assurance that it depresses correctly. If they're bent in any way, simply remove the Schrader using the Schrader removal tool and install the new Schrader. I trust this information was helpful, and if you would like to see further videos in more detail, just drop me a note at bob@copperwatcher.com and we'll do our best to put them together for you.